everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an exciting one for you. The best commanders for beginners that can absolutely demolish your opponents. Let's jump into them. Now, as a reminder, there is a card list link for all these commanders in the description below, so check that out. And make sure you check out Jasmine, Boreal, the 7 as a commander, because my goodness, this is a powerhouse commander for just 14 cents that is super unique and super simple for beginners, and it can absolutely demolish opponents. A 2/4 human druid for 3 mana in Selesnya. Tap, add Selesnya colors. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with no abilities. And also, by the way, creatures you control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities. This is absolutely fantastic and amazing. It is a card that says, hey, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to steamroll you. I'm going to demolish you. I am going to eviscerate you. You will be absolutely gone. All I'm going to do is just play a bunch of vanilla creatures. Creatures that are, again, not any abilities. You know, very, very simple, very, very straightforward, not complex. Ones that are, well, cheap because, well, they don't cost very much mana to get out, and they've got more power and potentially even toughness than they do mana value. So you're getting an edge there. You're getting a powerful creature, but again, the downside for most decks, they don't do anything. But for this deck, they do everything. They are basically unblockable. And of course, you can get all that power out. You can get a bunch of anthems out, pump your entire team, swing through, and win very easily with this. On top of that, you know, this is a commander that is a massive mana dork for you to help you get all those things out. It is an amazing commander. Check it out. Next up, Master Thopterist. Just 28 cents for this gem. A 1/4 human artificer for 3 mana in blue. And it says, whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And by paying 2 mana in blue, you sacrifice 2 artifacts and you draw a card. Now, this one is super helpful for beginners because, well, you can just focus on basically just playing a bunch of artifacts. You just take this commander, you chuck a bunch of artifacts into the deck, whether that's mana rocks or maybe some artifacts that, well, can help you deal with threats, or maybe some artifacts that can draw you some cards. Whatever kind of artifacts you want, you chuck those in the deck, and all of a sudden, you are making a massive army of evasive creatures. And again, if you ever need to, say, draw some cards, you can sacrifice some artifacts. Those could be the Thopters, those could be the artifacts that you're playing. Maybe you've got some artifacts that have triggers when they are sacrificed. You can keep it very simple, very straightforward. Basically, play artifacts, make an army, swing with the army, and win. Absolutely. And of course, blue is a really good color when it comes to dealing with a bunch of different threats, dealing with a bunch of different things, a bunch of different scenarios. So it is a good, easy color to, well, let you just focus on one thing and be able to deal with a lot of other things at the same time. So play artifacts and win. Next up, Arixmethes, Slumbering Isle. A 12/12 Kraken for 4 mana in Simic. Enters, tap with 5 slumber counters on it. As long as it's got a slumber counter on it, it's still a land. Whenever you cast a spell, you can move a slumber counter from it, and you can tap it for 2 mana. Now, this commander is super simple and straightforward for beginners. Even though it might seem a little complex at first, it is one that basically says, okay, I got you, all right? You're going to be able to play me basically every single game on turn 3 or 4, depending on if you ramped, and I will be your ramp for you, okay? I am basically an explosive vegetation in the command zone. I am a land that can tap for 2, and I am guaranteed to be coming out early, basically, for you. And also, I can be your biggest threat. I can be your game ender. But I'm going to be staying just back for a little bit, all right? I'm going to stay protected. I'm going to stay just as a land, tap for mana, be able to help you ramp, and then when you need me later in the game, after you've cast some spells, you can choose to remove that last counter. Again, that is the whole thing about this commander. You can choose not to remove a counter recast a spell. So once you get down to 1 slumber counter, you leave it until you really want it, and then all of a sudden, you got the biggest threat on the board. So yeah, this is a commander where you can go big spells, you can go sea monsters, you can go in a lot of different directions, but also you can just go, okay, I play this, all right, cool. I play a bunch of other things at some point, and then eventually I go, okay, it's now a creature. By the way, I probably have made so make it unblockable, or, you know, double its power or whatnot, or give it trample, and swing through and demolish my opponents. Moving on, yet another commander that might seem complex at first, but actually, my goodness, Atla Palani can be so simple and straightforward and so much fun and so dominating. A 2/3 human shaman for 4 mana and Naya. Pay 2 tap, make an egg. Whenever an egg you control dies, reveal at the top of your library until you hit a creature card. That goes onto the battlefield. The rest go on the bottom of your library. Now, this one again can be built in a lot of different ways, but it basically, if you just go, okay, I'm going to put in my deck a bunch of giant creatures, and then maybe I've got some ways to untap this. Maybe I've got some ways to crack the eggs. Again, whether that's little damage spells or whether that's essentially, sacrifice outlets, whatever it's going to be. You don't even have to do that, all right? You can just keep them back as defenders or maybe wait for a wrath to happen, and then all of a sudden you're revealing an amazing amount of creatures all at the top of your library. So basically, again, just get a bunch of big creatures, a bunch of big threats, put them in the deck, maybe some ramp spells as well. Some ways to untap this, make a bunch of eggs, make a lot of eggs, maybe some populate effects in there too if you really want to get spicy. But basically, you're just like, all right, I make eggs, I put the egg timer on, and essentially at some point, those eggs are going to crack, and my opponents are going to be doomed. Next up, Goreclaw likes big creatures. Goreclaw, Terror of Kal Sisma, is a 4/3 bear for 4 mana. And it says, creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast. Whenever it attacks each creature you control with power 4 or greater, it gets ++1 against trample until end of turn. Again, simple and straightforward. This one is, okay, I like big creatures. Awesome, alright. I will build my deck with a bunch of creatures that have power 4 or greater. Sweet. And all of a sudden, I get a massive discount on all those creatures. And by the way, when I attack, even if those creatures inherently don't have any kind of evasion or way to get that damage through, now they do. They've got trample. They steamroll over my opponent's creatures. They come through, they hit my opponents, and basically, again, all I need to focus on is get this out, get other big creatures out, which, again, there's plenty of them in green. Focus on ramping in green, getting big creatures out, and again, you get a lot of out very quickly with this. Swing, hit, rinse, and repeat again and again and again. You're going to have the biggest threats on the board. You're going to have the biggest army. You're going to have the most dangerous army. Yeah, Goreclaw is a ton of fun and very deadly. Next up, utilize your creatures in different ways with Inga and Esika, a 4/4 human god for 4 mana. In Simic, creatures you control have vigilance and tap at 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana, only cast a creature spell. Or cast a creature spell of 3 or more mana from creatures to spend to cast it. Draw a card. Now, this commander handles 2 things for you that are really important in Commander. Ramping and card advantage. This does both for you. So basically, you can just go, okay, I build my deck by putting creatures in it. Cool. And then this commander basically solves everything else for you, because your creatures are going to be able to still swing for you while also making you mana. Again, you go to combat, you swing, your creatures basically, again, have vigilance, so they're not tapping with that. Cool, I can be aggressive. Then second main phase, I go, okay, tap my creatures, and I will play more creatures. And of course, if I utilize that mana from the creatures that I'm tapping, I get to draw cards when I'm casting creatures. So basically, yeah, just jump a bunch of creatures in the deck, essentially. All the creatures, just dump them all into the deck, and all of a sudden you've got a massive army that you're playing, you're drawing, you're playing, you're drawing, you're swinging, you're being aggressive, and you're utilizing a really powerful color combination in Commander and having a bunch of fun. Speaking of powerful combinations, yeah, Chulane is Simic plus white, and Chulane is a very deadly and very simple and straightforward commander for beginners as well. A 2/4 human druid with vigilance for 5 mana and Bant. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, then you put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. You can just keep it right there at bat, and you don't even need to, worry about that last part. 3/3 tap, return our creature to its owner's hand. Very nice to have, obviously, and can really help you out in a lot of scenarios, but basically, just, okay, I get rewarded whenever I play a creature spell. And again, like I just said with Inga and Esika, this is a commander that handles 2 things that are very important in Commander. Ramp and card advantage. Being able to go, okay, I play a creature, I draw a card. Cool. Simple. Straightforward. Oh, by the way, do I have a land? Sweet. I'll play it. Oh, by the way, it comes into play untapped? Oh, awesome. Okay, I'm saying for like basics and ones that usually come in play untapped, okay? Oh, awesome. Maybe I can play another creature now. And another creature now. And another creature now. Being able to just churn through your deck, playing a bunch of creatures, dumping them on the board, overflowing the board with creatures, just overwhelming your opponents with all of your card advantage, with all of your ramp. You're going to have the most mana and the most cards. And of course, if you need to reset something, bounce a creature back to your hand, you can. There you go. Some protection in there as well. Definitely a commander that, again, can be the highest levels of Commander when it comes to, well, power. But also, it can just be a very simple and straightforward beginner commander that can just absolutely dominate a table. Speaking of which, Tatyova, Benthic Druid, a 3/3 Merfolk Druid for 5 mana in Simic Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain 1 life and draw a card. This 10-cent commander that is somehow uncommon is an absolute gem, and it is super simple, super straightforward, and super deadly. This is a commander that can absolutely dominate a table, and again, it is one that rewards you for something you already want to do in Magic. In Commander, you want to get lands into play. You want to ramp. And now when you do so, you get to draw. That's just what it is. You get to draw, and nice, you get to pad your life total too. So a little bit of protection there as well. But yeah, being able to go, okay, land, draw. Oh, Evolving Wilds, crack it, draw. You drew 2 right there from Evolving Wilds, which is absolutely insane. You play a Rampant Growth, you draw. Anytime you are playing Ramp Souls, anytime you're playing your land for the turn, playing additional lands, cracking fetch lands, you are drawing and replacing them. And of course, there's a bounty of other landfall triggers in this color combination. There's a lot of powerful things that you can do. But again, this is a commander that very much handles one of the 2 most important things in Commander, card advantage. And again, it benefits you to actually ramp as well, which is the other important thing too. It's a commander that is super, 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 super simple, straightforward, and super deadly. Next up, a commander in another direction. We've got Darien, King of Kjeldor, a 3/3 human soldier for 6 mana in white. It says whenever you're dealt damage, you may create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. This is one that can help beginner players a lot because, again, the focus can be very straightforward. You can say, all right, I'm going to play this, and I don't care if my opponents attack me. That's actually kind of good if my opponents attack me because all of a sudden I have an army. And I can just focus on making that army even deadlier by playing some anthems, by playing some pump effects, by playing some ways to get them through, by playing other creatures that can help them out as well. But yeah, I can actually just get this commander out and say, all right, either it's going to protect me or I get a massive benefit when my opponents do hit me. So all of a sudden I can have this massive army and all of a sudden I can dominate the board. So yeah, this is a commander that again can be very straightforward. Again, get it out, protect it, get things out that pump your army, and all of a sudden you're the biggest threat on the board. And finally, Ghalta, Primal Hunger. Yeah, most definitely a very straightforward commander that can be very deadly. A 12/12 Elder Dinosaur for 12 mana in green, but you're never going to pay that, and it's got Trample. Because it costs, well, X less to cast Rex the total power of creatures you control. Again, super simple and straightforward. Just play creatures, reduce this cost, play this for most likely just 2 mana. So you're just playing the most massive creature on the board. Again, a 12/12 with Trample for just 2 mana. Super easy, super simple, super early in the game. You got the biggest threat on the board. And if you have maybe, say, a double strike type effect, you can very easily one-shot someone, or a double up power type effect. You can very easily one-shot someone with this commander. Again, what's more simple than, all right, swing, you lose. And they're like, this was turn 5. Yeah, don't care. All right, you're gone. All right, next up, swing, you lose. Next up, swing, you lose. You can very easily dominate the table with this absolute powerhouse of a Dino Commander. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.